Hi, Archie.
Hi, Babu to Pape.
You have been practicing. Would you like to start by practicing your story one time before we go to Jigsaw?
Okay.
Okay, here's Jigsaw. Let me go back out and find your story. Go ahead.
Harry loved books, but not like you and I love books. No. Harry loved to eat books. He wasn't sure at first and tried to eat a single word just to test. Next, he tried to eat the whole sentence and then a whole page. Yes, Harry definitely liked them. By Wednesday, he had finished eating the book. Soon, he could eat a whole book in one go. Harry loved eating all sorts of books. Storybooks, dictionaries, joke books, books of facts, even math books. But Rowan was his favorite. But here's the best bit. The more he ate, the smarter he got. He ate a book about goldfish and then knew what to feed Ginger, his pet goldfish. Before long, he was even smarter than his teacher in school. Harry loved being smart. He thought if he kept going, he might even become the smartest person on earth. So he kept eating books and he kept getting smarter and smarter and smarter. He went from eating books whole to eating like 3 or 4 at a time. Books about anything. Harry wasn't fuzzy and he wanted to know it all. Then things started going very, very wrong. Harry was eating too many books and too quickly. He was beginning to feel a little ill. But here's the worst bit. Everything was getting mixed up. He didn't have time to digest properly. It became quite embarrassing for him to speak. Instead of saying, "How are you today?" he would say, "Babu to Pape." Suddenly, Harry didn't feel very smart at all. So, Harry gave up eating books and sat sadly for a long time. What was he to do? Then, after a while, Harry picked up a book. But instead of putting it in his mouth, he began to read. And it was so good. Harry discovered that he loved to read. And he thought that if he read enough, he might still become the smartest person on earth. It would just take a little longer. Thank you for listening to my story.
All righty, well, we're gonna head over to Jigsaw, but I did notice that on this first page, I think you have just memorized a couple places a little differently than how it's written. And so your brain is really used to that. And sometimes when our brain learns something one way, it's hard for it to change, to unlearn it and then learn it a new way. But because this was the second time that I heard you say here, you stuck in here a couple words. He tried to eat a whole sentence. And then here, instead of the, you like to say Those they don't change the meaning. So it is probably fine unless someone is checking off the words. And down here, this especially though is a little bit of a problem. You like to say the red one was his favorite. And we want to say ones were his favorite. Okay. I think it has gone dark. I would say we are done with that project. So I'm opening up Jigsaw and I'm ready for you when you are ready to bring our screen back. While I'm waiting, I'm going to check something here. Okay. Oh, here we are. All right. Let me get rid of our star. Okay, so we spent a lot of time talking about this page. We are going to move on The main thing we learned here is that it was Kim's older sister, Kayla, who was in middle school or junior high school, who had the idea of Kim calling Jigsaw. So calling Jigsaw had been Kayla's idea, not Kim's idea. All right, so next page. So let's just take a look here. We've got Jigsaw and his partner Mila, and then this would be Kim. And so here when Jigsaw says, and to be honest, I was surprised she recommended me, we have to remember what we were talking about last time. And so this she is Kayla. That's Kim's older sister who is in junior high school or middle school. Okay, I didn't think she, Kayla, knew my name. Go figure. Now, go figure is kind of an interesting phrase. It's a phrase because it's two words that go together. It has a special meaning in English that's kind of just for fun. So when someone says, go figure, the meaning is, this doesn't really make sense to me at all, but oh well, I guess it's what it is. And so the person is going to just accept it without trying to figure out why it is what it is when it doesn't make sense to them and it surprises them. But instead of trying to figure it out, they just say, okay, well, go figure. It's kind of like you could go try and figure it out, but I'm not going to. That's kind of what it means. Can we see the note? Mila asked. Kim led us into her bedroom. She lifted a sheet of paper off her dresser. Dresser is the furniture in the bedroom where people put their clothes, shirts and pants and shorts and all of their clothes. They can fold them up and put them into a dresser. So it will have drawers. And some dressers have a mirror on top. I found it this morning. I have a dresser right over here. I'll show it to you. Okay, so there you see the dresser. It's painted white and it has drawers. This particular dresser, if you look on top of it and look behind those pictures, you can see a mirror. Do you see that mirror?
Yeah.
So some dressers have a mirror on top, but we're kind of using that dresser for storage. And so you can see there's a bunch of pictures and things hanging out on top of the dresser, leaning up against the mirror. But that there is a dresser. All righty, so she says, Kim says, I found it this morning. I, Jigsaw, read the note. So here's the note that Kim found. It says, if you, this would be Kim, the person who wrote the note is talking to Kim, if you want to see your necklace again, sit by the phone and wait. Dun, 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 dun. Very mysterious. Why is this mysterious? Because it leaves us with questions that don't have answers yet. So the word
because the bad guy want to steal the phone and don't give Kim the necklace. Just steal the phone.
Oh, that's your prediction. All right. We will see if you are right. Well, if we take this first part of the word mysterious that I put an orange kind of a circle around, and we change the I to a Y, it would say mystery. And remember, a mystery is when we have lots of questions that have not been answered yet. For example, who wrote that note? Why did they take the necklace? How did they take the necklace? We have lots of answers. We have lots of questions about this note, but we don't have any answers yet. So it is a mystery. So this note which gives us all these questions, is very mysterious. Enter Jigsaw, the detective, to solve the mystery. All right, chapter 3. This is called the Ransom Note. Now, before we look at this chapter, I want to show you what an old-fashioned typewriter looks like. Back when I was a kid, this will tell you how old I am. Back when I was a kid, we did not type our papers and stories for school on computers. We did it on typewriters. And this is how a typewriter works. Do you see all of these things in here? Each one of these is connected to one of these circles. On these circles, each one has a letter of the alphabet. And then it's connected to one of these things. And each one of these on the end of it, on this end right here, has a letter of the alphabet that matches whatever this circle is. And so what happens, so here you can see, if you look at these. And the letters are backwards because what's going to happen is one of these things is going to flip up and hit the paper. And between this metal thing and the paper is going to be a black ribbon of ink, like a stamp. And so this is like a stamp and it's going to hit the paper so hard, but between it and the paper is this black ink, a ribbon of black ink. And it's going to stamp the ink onto the paper and then it will come back and lie down again. And so each one of these moves anytime you hit one of those circles, those keys. So if you hit the B key, then the one here that has the B on it, I don't know which one has the B on it, it will fling up and stamp the paper with that ink, okay? So once it stamps the paper, do you think it's very easy to erase it? No, it's not. So if you're typing, it is actually very difficult to erase.
I found the B.
Oh, you did? Where is it? Here's a K. Is that a I maybe? Or a T? What is that? An M, J, U, N. I think that's the number 7. This is an H, a Y. Oh, is this the B?
Yes.
That's the B, right? The little b is here and the capital B is here. This is the capital G and the little g. I think this is the capital T and the little t. Capital V and the little v. I think that's the number 5. So I think I have one more picture that shows it a little bit more. So you can see that these work like stamps. But what happens is when you touch the key, it causes one of these levers that has the same letter on it to fling up. And then it will, see this red line? That's the ribbon and it has black ink on it. Well, actually this has black ink and red ink. It's black ink on the top and it's red ink on the bottom. And this is a fancier typewriter because you can choose if you want it to use the black ink or the red ink. So you actually can type in 2 different colors, black or red. So that is called a typewriter, okay? Now, and so if we see like this paper, we would say it is typewritten. So that word typewritten comes from typewriter. So if we take a typewriter and then double the T and add EN, we get typewritten. And so it's what the paper...
I can read what it says.
What does it say?
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Yeah, this is kind of a famous sentence. Do you know why?
Why?
Because this sentence has every single letter of the alphabet in it. All 26 English letters are in that one sentence. Although you did not, you only said the sound of 25 of them because when you read jumps, you read jump. And I believe that S at the end of jumps is the only S in the sentence that I can see.
No, it's not. I found another S.
Where?
There. Nope. There.
Well, there's an S at the end of all of the jumps, but I don't think there's an S in any of these words.
Yes,
Lazy is a Z.
I know.
Well, where else do you see an S?
There. I won't tell you.
You won't tell me, huh? Okay, so that's typewritten. So often we use the word for typewritten. For computers, I think we just say that it's typed. You know, that we just say that it's typed. However, here they are saying typewritten, and so I was expecting it to be a typewriter, but actually they're thinking a computer. So they're looking at the ransom note. Now, let me just show you this here. Here was the, do you remember we just read this ransom note? It said, if you want to see your necklace again, sit by the phone and wait. A ransom note is actually not a very happy thing. Would you really like to know what it is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the only time there is a ransom note is if something or someone is taken by a thief. Now, if the thief is taking a person, they're called a kidnapper. If they're taking a thing, they're called a thief. Now, if that person that stole something or took something or someone that doesn't belong to them, if they...
I send you something.
Oh, is it a license plate by any chance? Oh,
Nope.
okay, good, because I forgot what it was, so thank you for reminding me. If the person who was a thief really doesn't want what they took, they just want money, or there's something that they want instead, then they leave a ransom note. And the ransom note is sent to the person who lost the thing, that it's sent to the person who they took it from. And it says, if you want to see this again, then you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. They give them directions. You know, number 1, get $10. Number 2, take it to the tree on Maple Street. Number 3, come on Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Number 4, don't bring anyone with you, or something like that. They're going to give directions. And then if you follow the directions, you would get back whatever it is they took from you. That's how it's supposed to work. The problem with a ransom note, Archie, is
What?
well, you have to trust that the person who writes it is going to keep their word and do what they say. But the person that you're trusting is someone who just stole. So do you really want to trust a thief? Do you really want to trust someone who just did a really bad thing and took something that doesn't belong to them? I mean, they're not trustworthy at all. All right, let's say these are our 2 people. If this is the thief here, and he took the necklace that belongs to this person, okay, who's Kim, did she do anything wrong?
Nope.
No. And so she is what we would call the victim. The victim is someone who did not do anything wrong, but a crime was done to them. A crime is something that is wrong. It's against the law. Stealing something that does not belong to you, taking something that does not belong to you without permission, that is breaking the law, breaking the rules. It's not okay. It's a crime. And so a thief is not doing a good thing. They're doing a bad thing. And Kim did not do anything wrong at all. But now she is going to feel sad, right? And she's going to want her necklace back, okay? If the thief writes a ransom note and says, if you want to see your necklace again, then you need to do this, this, and this, then he is doing something bad again, and he's making her a victim again, because he is trying to have control over her. He's trying to have power over her. He's trying to tell her what to do. And he's saying, you have to trust me, but he can't be trusted. Someone who is going to steal things cannot be trusted. They are not trustworthy. So it's a tricky thing. If you get a ransom note, do you trust the thief and do what they say, or do you not? And that is the question we are going to pick up with next time and talk about the decision that Kim is going to have to make about the ransom note. So for today, we're going to say, so long.
Good job.
Bye, Archie.